Hello humans and welcome to another episode of Gen X Gamer. I got an analog pocket today. Yes, I did. Now, did I buy it for myself? No. I got it for my son. And the reason is when I was moving and he was helping move some things, we're looking at video games, talking about video games. And it reminded me of, the times that I used to buy him video games in the past and what have you. And he started telling me about the analogs pocket. And, I let him talk like as if I didn't know about the system or anything. And he sounded just as excited as he did, way back in the day, right? And back in the day, I had bought him, the Game Boy Color. I bought him the Advanced when it came out as placeholders a couple of times because I couldn't afford the bigger consoles. How times have changed, right? And now he's a dad, right? And now he's telling me about this, and for the first time in a long time, I saw him excited about something. And he was telling me about how the system worked and what have you. He's into that technical kind of stuff. Anyway, I was able to order it this morning. It was pretty cool. I'm going to tell him later today because if he sees this video, he's going to know that I bought it for him. Number one. Number two, I don't want him to buy it. So he doesn't have to, because he said he was thinking about buying it, but he wasn't sure. But he's a dad. I'm sure he's gonna not do for himself first, like I used to do. So even though he was really excited about it, I don't think he was gonna buy it for himself. So I'm glad I'm able to do that for him because he deserves it. He's been a good daddy all year. And that got me to thinking, guys, there's a lot of you out there. There's a lot of us at many times in life, but we're not doing so great during Christmas, right? We're just not. And that's the reason I wanted to take the channel in the finance direction. I really feel some people like making fun of people who don't have enough money to buy, the latest video game, that they have to wait for their next paycheck. And that right there tells you that they're living paycheck to paycheck, right? I want to change that narrative. I want to change the narrative of people just, e-begging for video games. There's a better way. If you're watching me out there and if you think, oh man, there's the first bell of my lunch. I got 5 minutes to finish this video. There's a lot of people out there who are in that position, and I just want to change it up. There's a lot of things that we can do. That's why I want to take the channel in the financial section of video games. The first thing I want to do is, now that I'm moving all this stuff, I want to take all my duplicates. And our first goal is going to be to raise $5,000 by selling duplicates. Everything that I have that I don't need is going to go on sale. See how close we get to that this year, right? If we're able to raise $5,000, that should give us, an opportunity to build a small but decent portfolio of stocks of the video game industry, of companies that are going to be issuing NFTs, for example. We want to get in that market. We want to be owners, not consumers, right? You want to be benefiting from the companies that you like. You want to be benefiting from companies that are making great video games that people are going to be purchasing items in, whether they be microtransactions or hardware. It doesn't matter. If you know there's a good product, if we know there's a good company out there that's producing the goods, we want to invest in that company. We want to be owners, right? We don't want to be just standing by the sidelines and spending money in these companies and not getting any benefit from it. We're going to use the knowledge we have from the video game industry for our investments. But, it's not going to be easy. Crawling out of hell takes a long time, right? 1 inch at a time. It's not going to be easy, but it's very, very doable. We just have to grind it out. So, starting this weekend, I'm going to start posting the items that we're going to put to raise some goods. And we're going to go from there. I see this, 2022 as a challenge for everybody. It looks like the economy is going to be in a downturn. Inflation's going up. The stock market's probably going to be down. So we're going to be facing a few challenges here. It's going to be the time for us to invest wisely, not to, waste money, but to be very, very cautious with our investments and try to make the most amount of money that we can with anything that we have laying around, right? And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it on eBay. I'm going to put it on Craigslist. Whatever I need to do to raise these first 5,000 to create a portfolio based on these companies, video game companies. That's what I plan to do. And then after that, we can track it, right? And that's going to be the fun part, tracking these investments, talking about them week to week, see how we were doing, and do a weekly update maybe on, how much stock we have, what's in our portfolio, how much is it worth, and those type of things. Using, that portfolio and also Acorns. Believe it or not, in Acorns, this past year, I think, I put something like $12.50 a week or something like that, and then my spare change. And I think at this point, I'm about at $963, which isn't bad, right? $963 for your spare change. I think that's pretty good. And I don't even have it in a aggressive fund. It's in a immediate, moderate fund. So, Acorns always works. Probably going to be using M1 for the basket. I think the only thing that I have to use Robinhood for is going to be Nintendo, because they're the only ones who sell Nintendo stock openly. And I think it's about 58 right now or so. So yeah, we'll do it. We'll make a small portfolio. We're going to start off with that small goal of $5,000, being raised specifically from video game items, for whatever items I have laying around. And I'm going to show you that it can be done. You don't have to live paycheck to paycheck when it comes to funding your video game hobby, right? You don't have to wait to buy your favorite video games. You can have little set aside there working for you, making that money for you in these terrible, terrible times that are going to be coming up for a lot of people. Guys, I wish you the best during this Christmas. I'm going to have an update this weekend, and we'll see how everything goes. I got my analog. Oh man, there's the lunch bell. Guys, thank you for joining me. Thank you for sticking with me during this period of movement and chaos. But I really, really thank you for subscribing, and I will catch you on the next one. Remember, never, ever, and I mean ever, be afraid to be happy. All right, guys, I got to get back. Take care.